Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we're finishing the story of the Master Race. It was a total of 4 parts, and I'll leave the playlist link in the video description. We begin with Carrie Kelly, who's watching the exact moment when Batman was killed. Those stupid aliens killed Batman. They killed the Bat. This is a hard thing to watch. Flash tells her there's a good chance he isn't dead. Kelly refers to the footage, saying it's disturbing, and she knows he's gone. But they're not. Has Flash ever doubted himself? Barry tells her that he really doesn't find the time to. Kelly finds this quite funny. Barry tells her that no matter how fast he is or how fast he runs, he knows that life itself is faster. The best they can do is accept it and keep going. Kelly tells him that if his intention was to make her feel better, he's not doing a good job. Bruce could never come to terms with death. Kelly asks why anyone would. Death is the end of the race. It's the finish line. Flash never thought of it that way. Death isn't something they run together with. It's what they run away from. Or as Flash puts it, your mileage may vary. Well, Flash is right. Everyone's mileage varies, and so does Bruce Wayne's. Suddenly, Bruce Wayne appears before them. Could someone give him a rundown of everything that just happened? Kelly is really happy to see her mentor and runs to hug him. Meanwhile, on the island of the Amazons, the planes have arrived, and the Greek gods have been dead for a long time. It's time to serve a new master. He is Kor, and they are all his wives, here to take the son of the Yellow Sun. They know he's under the protection of Wonder Woman. The Kryptonians have discussed this with their master, and he has allowed them to show some mercy. They'll have to give the child up so they can show a bit of leniency. Obviously, Wonder Woman and the Amazons aren't going to surrender or hand over the child. Diana fires an arrow with a red ribbon, which means they will not surrender. So, if that's the case, the Kryptonian gives the order. Kill them all. We're back with Batman, who tells Clark he shouldn't have put him in the Lazarus pit. Superman tells him that if he hadn't, he'd be dead by now. Anyway, they'll talk later about what happened. The Bats need to go fight the Kryptonians. The problem is that the last Batmobile was completely destroyed. That's no issue for Batman, who has more in storage. It may not be heavy weaponry, but it's a classic. Flash contacts Batman. They have an incoming call from Diana. Wonder Woman wants to inform him that the Kryptonians have declared war on Amazonia. Upon hearing those words, Superman departs immediately. Batgirl and Batman better head out too. On the island, Wonder Woman asks her daughter to give her brother. Lara says that Kor's wives are here to take Jonathan, and what she wants is to protect her. Diana takes back her son and prepares for battle. Willpower, brute force, magic, solar radiation, that's their fuel. As Kryptonians under the Yellow Sun, they have far greater powers than native men. But the Amazons, they believe the sun is a god. They are immortal, and that's something magical. Magic cannot be explained. They have no idea who they're facing. On the other hand, the Amazons will die before they surrender. They will avenge every drop of blood spilled. They'll never bow to alien tyranny. Diana promises them they will dominate this day. More Amazons have arrived at the battlefield. The Kryptonians realize this is serious. While all this fighting was going on, Lara was hiding in her room. A Kryptonian comes in and asks her why she isn't defending them. Does she not love her people? Will she no longer love her father? He's calling them right now. It's time to leave this place. With no other choice, Lara leaves the room. The Amazons continue the battle. They swear to fight to the death. They will kill because they are willpower itself. 200,000 years ago, her mother decreed Amazonia an isolated society, a ridiculous notion to make it perfect. That was a mistake, as it is now. Perfection frustrates, and isolation breeds longing. The battle has left an incredible amount of dead so far. Then Superman appears. Diana tells her love that it's good to see him again. It's good to see him this way. Flash contacts them, apologizing for the interruption, but he thinks they should be aware of the situation. Kor and all the Kryptonians who ingested nuclear bombs are in the same location. They have started a countdown. It seems that Superman only stopped by to greet Wonder Woman and his son, because he now has to leave. Similarly, the Amazons had already won the battle. There are still more Kryptonians, and at this moment we're with Kor. The planet Earth has just disappointed him. He only asked for their love, their adoration, their veneration. In return, he would be their god. He could preside over them, which is his duty as a superior being. He thought Earth was capable of understanding that, but he was wrong. Yes, he's very disappointed. They've made his love impossible. They've robbed him of his joy. Elsewhere, we're with Lara and another Kryptonian. They tell her she's a disgrace. She didn't support them to win this war. Kal-El's daughter is a traitor, just like her miserable father. Surely her father will punish her. She stood idle while the true Kryptonians were massacred. The Kryptonians were about to attack Lara when suddenly, we see a great green light. Green Lantern has arrived at the battlefield and tells Lara to stand behind him. He'll take care of it all. They only tell him that he's a very small man. Hasn't he learned his lesson? But Green Lantern has, and after a flash, we only see Lara. Elsewhere, Batman goes to Kor. To him, that's the problem with dictators and demagogues. It's their way or no way. They win, or everyone loses. Imagine what column he would say that in. To hell with them. He means that they talk about money being the root of all evil, and that an old dog can't learn new tricks. But nothing about a new dog using old tricks. Batman has arrived at the battlefield, and, using the sounds of bats, starts to take down several Kryptonians. In extreme and unexpected situations, the first instinct is always to save oneself, aggressive panic. That's usually done at others' expense. Friendly fire as it is. Predictability has always been the companion Batman never spoke of. Kryptonians have fallen and continue to suffer. At this point, they're on the ropes. Batman and Batgirl arrive to deliver the final blow. Lara is here and asks Kor how humans did this to them. Several Kryptonians are asking themselves this question. Why do they ask humans to worship them? They should leave this world to the ants determined to destroy it. First, they were imprisoned in a bottle, and now a lunatic is promising them salvation. They ask what he means by lunatic. Well, they heard him correctly. They're going to leave. The ants can stay on this planet. But before they manage to leave, Kor's children use their heat vision to finish them all off. In the distance, Batman and Batgirl watch them. They need to retreat. Superman has arrived at the battlefield, so they'll leave this to him. The Man of Steel barely touched Batman's chest, but it was as if the weight of the world pressed against it. Superman won't allow Batman to die after he brought him back to life. Batman tells him he shouldn't have done that. Well, if that's what he thinks, then he should sue him. He could hire the best lawyers. It wouldn't matter. He has to see it. Everyone agrees with Superman. The world needs Batman, and he knows it. We're back with Kor, and his children are complaining to him. There's one who doesn't belong to this family, this group of children. Kor wants Lara to stay with them. All she has to do is promise him her love, her eternal devotion. If she does, he'll give her a killing instrument. Lara's true father has arrived. While the Man of Steel faces off with Kor, Val takes advantage to land a hard blow from behind. Kor had the opportunity to escape. He had many. This is his era. It would have been better for him if he had just disappeared. Superman tells Lara that these people are not what Krypton stood for. He is, although apparently he doesn't. He has no idea what it means to be Kryptonian. He's been poisoned with so much humanity. He's simply an old softy, and now he's going to die. Val was about to land another hard punch on his face, but Superman easily stops him. The most interesting part is coming. Shattering his jaw, breaking his femur into 3 pieces, impacting his ganglion. First he'll feel alert, then he'll experience pain. He has no words for 3 ribs, even a punctured lung. From afar, Kelly realizes Superman is acting like Batman. Batman knows this. All this time, the damn Superman has just been holding back. All these years, he moves, he's hitting while dodging a punch. There's a certain geometry to physical violence. Batman liked to think he'd mastered it. It turns out Batman is still a student. They should be faster, stronger, younger, but they aren't smarter than Superman. The Man of Steel has finished off all the Kryptonians. At this moment, he tells Kor to end his tyranny. Kor asks if he's referring to his own. He calls him a tyrant. But how can one truly overcome tyranny? It's true that Superman has finished off all the Kryptonians, but they still have one last trick up their sleeve. Let's not forget that they are nuclear bombs, and at this moment, they're about to explode. We saw what happened when a Kryptonian went nuclear in Moscow, and a chain reaction will destroy Earth. If that's the case, Kelly thinks she should die with blood on her knuckles. Batman no longer has kryptonite. Nothing remains for him to fight these self-imposed gods except for one thing. Let's not forget Adam. Remember that in previous chapters, he had managed to stop. He'd been shrinking more and more. Now he emerges and makes the Kryptonians incredibly small. The explosions go off, but they're so tiny they can't harm anyone. Not even the rock they were standing on suffers any damage. Yet, one is still left to explode. Core wasn't shrunk by Adam. This is when Superman's daughter steps into act as a heroine. She won't allow him to harm any of them. So she grabs him and flies away. The only way this explosion won't affect anyone on Earth or the planet itself is by taking it directly to the sun, where the two explode. Some time has passed, and we're with Batman. 2 months, an eternity, 2 months since the world last had a Superman. Where did Clark go? Finally, he realized humanity would never admit they needed him, that we would never grow enough to accept what he brought to the table. For a long time, I've dealt with that burden apologizing for it. You know I'll find you. There's no place on Earth where you can hide from me, if you're still on Earth. But if not, take us with you. After all, we raised you. You're one of us. You're my friend, the last son of Krypton. Kelly arrives with Batman and asks if he's ready to go. He looks at her and is surprised. She's just changed her outfit. Kelly didn't mean to offend him. She just didn't really like the bright colors. Her tastes are darker, and at this moment, she'd prefer not to be called Batgirl anymore. Batwoman would be much better. Batman thinks it sounds pretty good. It's nice, this time, she did really well. Batwoman has potential intelligence, enough to learn from it. After dying and being reborn, this will be a better life. I've lived too long. Some would say longer than I deserve, but in those years, it became clear to me we live among gods. Some would even say we are gods. We, being ourselves, that makes us gods. I say it humbly. It's not even what we aspire to be. There's so much to love about this world, our home, so much we've managed to handle without ever losing sight of life, freedom, the pursuit of happiness. And one of the most important things is invisible. At the same time, it keeps us indivisible. Gravity is what holds us together. And gravity is a word armed from both sides of the brain. It describes science and emotion separately for average people. But we aren't average people. We're heroes. We recognize threats and do our best to end them. We protect. We rush together into battle because sometimes it's the best way to make peace. We inspire. We understand that the world's eyes are on us, pushing us, supporting us, praying we won't let them down. Lately, we understand how small our role truly is. The lives we impact are potentially even greater than our own. It's humility, the honor we share, because we adapt to the gravity of the situation, and that's what keeps us bound. Lara doesn't understand his affection for humanity. Clark tells her she doesn't understand yet, and she has to know it's more than just simple affection. Superman tells her he envies her, but Lara doesn't get it. This is because Superman remembers when he was her age. She's about to embark on an adventure that those like her can't comprehend. She'll learn how to laugh, how to cry, how it feels to carry joy in her heart, and how to confront it when it leaves, and she would never do well in that. She's about to see seasons pass in a way she's never seen them before. That's how they'll become so precious, so magnificent, that at times they'll bring her to tears. If she doesn't understand, that's fine, but for now, she has to go along with him. Lara tells him that when he went off to hide in his frozen fortress, he just wanted to be alone. Superman wishes he could say that he was just human, despite his shortcomings and fears. Sharing humanity's joy is the greatest thing he's ever experienced. People know it too. That's why they teach it and keep moving forward, even in tough times. His parents did it anyway. Lara puts on some glasses and asks her father to teach her. Superman would love to do that. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.